Welcome back to BioMindscape. Here we are going to discuss some of the questions of Re-NEET 2026. So the question is the number of vertebrae in the human. That is 26. So here the option C is correct, 26. Next question. Symbiotic association between fungi and algae, that is known as the lichen. Here that lichen is the symbiotic association between fungi and algae, that is called the lichen. So here option A, that is lichen, is correct here. Symbiosis is what? A close long-term biological interaction between different biological organisms. Then mutualism is specific type of symbiotic relationship when both organisms are benefited. So lichen here, they are composite, the symbiotic organism formed by the mutual relationship between the algae and that produce the food by the photosynthesis, and the fungi, that is the microbiome, which absorb the water, nutrition and provide the shelter. Next question is cell theory, that was formulated by the Sheldon and Swan. This is the correct answer here, option E is correct. Which of the following are the characteristics of prokaryotic cell? We have to tell which of them are the characters of the prokaryotic cell. So here option A is a ribosome that are made up of 50 and 30 subunits. Yes, it is correct. Option B, they can have a plasmid. Yes, they can have a plasmid. And option C, they contain the mesosome. This is also correct. And they have peroxisome. No, they don't have an peroxisome. So here A, B and C are correct and D is incorrect option. So we are going to mark it here. In the options, the option D is correct, A, B, D, C. Why not peroxisome? Peroxisome, they are membrane bounded organelle that are involved in lipid metabolism and chemical detoxification. They are only found in eukaryotic cell and not in the prokaryotic cell. Next is, which one of the following is not a part of the human central neural system? So that is the pericardium, that is not a part of the human central neural system, whereas other things, that is pi matter, dura matter, all these things are present in the human CNS, that consists of the brain and the spinal cord. We know that the brain and spinal cord, they are protected by 3 layers of the connective tissues. We call it as meninges. And they have the dura matter, arachnoid matter and pi matter. Next is the mitochondria inner membrane, that is enclosed by what? Matrix. Match the pair list 1 with list 2. Second one question, this is also from the mitochondria. The cisternae, the thylakoid, the phospholipid and cisternae. The cisternae, we know that where it belongs to the infolding in the mitochondria. Then cisternae, where they are present, they are the disc-shaped sac in the Golgi apparatus. And thylakoids, they are the flat membrane sacs in the stoma of the chloroplast. And the phospholipid, they are the cell membrane. So we will go with the option B here. Next question is the plastid that store the xanthophylls. It is known as what? That is chromoplast, not plastid. Here not chloroplast and chromoplast. Why chromoplast? They contain a fat soluble carotenoid pigment like carotene, xanthophyll, then and other that give the plant the yellow orange color, and roots as well. It is important in ripening of the fruit and roots. Okay, so chloroplast, what is the primary function of the chloroplast? Anyone, please write in the comment section here. The chloroplast primarily contains the chlorophyll and carotenoids that are responsible for the photosynthesis. And areoplast, it is a type of colorless leucoplast that store the proteins, whereas amidoplast, they are also a colorless leucoplast. They store the carbohydrates, that is starch. Next is, now let's see what is a chromoplast. Now just I told you that the pigment that is bright yellow, orange, red color typically of many flowers that helps in ripening of the fruit and roots. It's the chromoplast synthesize and accumulate carotenoid pigment like carotene and xanthophyll. They are responsible for the coloration of yellow, orange, red color that is seen in the autumn leaves, fruits and even the flowers. Next question is, which one of the following statement that is related to the pituitary gland, and we have to tell the correct option here. So option A is, it is divided automatically into the adenohypophysis and neurohypophysis, and it secretes the follicle stimulating hormone, then it secretes the melanocyte stimulating hormone. So ABC is correct here, and option D we can see it does not secrete prolactin, wrong. Pituitary gland, it is divided into adenohypophysis and neurohypophysis, this is correct. The FSH, it is synthesized and secreted by the gonadotropin cell of the anterior pituitary, that is adenohypophysis, this is also the correct option. Here we can see the melanocyte MSH that is secreted by the pars intermedia, which is a part of the adenohypophysis, this is also correct. And prolactin, it is secreted by the anterior pituitary gland that stimulate the milk production, so it does not secrete the prolactin, that's why this option is incorrect, option D is incorrect. Now next question is, photorespiration reaction is given that catalyze the RUBP CO, it is shown here RUBP plus O2 that will give the 3-phosphoglycerate plus X. So we have to identify what is X here. So option A is phosphoenol pyruvate, option B is 2-phosphoglycolate. So here option second is correct, the 2-phosphoglycolate. Here we get the answer, that Rubisco, where I have made a video on the Krebs cycle. You just watch the short of Krebs cycle on BioMindscape, where it is given that Rubisco, that is Rubisco 1,5-bisphosphate carboxylase oxygenase, it is a dual function enzyme that can bind either with CO2 as well as with O2. Okay, so oxygen concentration is high in and the Rubisco that binds with the O2, and in the process it was known as the photorespiration, that is C2 cycle. Instead of forming of the PGA, these oxygenated reaction yield one molecule of 3 carbon compound and one molecule of 2 carbon compound. So how this reaction takes place? It start reacting where the RUBP, the Rubisco's 1,5-bisphosphate, it is a 5 carbon compound. When it react with the O2, the total number of carbon atom that produce the side that must be equal to the 5. Okay, so first one of the product of 3-phosphoglycerate, that is 3-PGA, which contain 3 carbon atoms. The remaining product that must contain 2 carbon to balance the 5 carbon reaction. So 5 carbon RUBP that will give 3 carbon, that is 3-PGA, and 2C, that is 2 carbon. So what is this 2C? The 2 carbon compound, that is the step 2, that is 2-phosphoglycolate. 2-phosphoglycolate, that is option B. So option B is correct here. Mad cow disease is caused by what? Prions. Option A is correct. Directly we know that it is learning question, like which type of disease is caused by which type of viruses, viroids and prions. You must be thorough with that. Which pigment has absorption peak at 700 nanometer in a photosynthesis reaction center PS1, that is P700. So we know that chlorophyll A, this is a pigment which has an absorption peak of 700 nanometers in photosynthetic reaction at center PS1. Next question is, in water the frog respire using which of the organ? So skin is the organ by which the frog respires. So option A is correct here. Which of the following represent the correct sequence of the arrangement of the bones in the lower limb of the human? So here femur, then patella, then tibia and tarsal. So this is the correct option. C option is correct here. Phyllotaxis, pattern of the arrangement of which one of the following? So option A is correct here, leaves. And you have to know more about the phyllotaxy, so you can watch my videos on phyllotaxy shorts, and in which I have given all the types of phyllotaxy. Then there is a match the pair here given, starch antibody, then concanaval, valine, concaveline A and glute4. So we have to match the correct option. So the starch, that is matching with the energy storage. Then starch here, energy storage. Antibody is matching with the fight infection. It is used here in the fighting infection. Then concaveline A, it is matching with the lectin, and glute4, that is matching with the glucose transport. This question is from biomolecules. It serves high diverse function, and it tells about the starch. It is a homopolysaccharide of glucose that is a primary energy storage macromolecule in plants. And antibiotics, they are the protective protein that produce the immune cell to target the foreign pathogen. Then concaveline A, it is a carbohydrate binding protein which is isolated from the jack beans under the lectins. Then glute4, what is that? It is an insulin regulated glucose transporter protein that facilitates the glucose uptake in muscles and fat cells. So here D is matching with 3. Here there are two statements given. We have to tell whether both of the statements are correct or not. If we see the statement 1 here, statement 1 is correct here. When any plane passes through the central axis of the body, it divides the organism into the two identical halves, and it is the radial symmetry. Whereas the second statement, we can see here in the phylum Echinodermata, both adult and larva, they are radially symmetrical, and in the light of the above statement, we have to choose the most appropriate answer. So option 2 is incorrect here. So we will go with the option C, that is statement 1 is correct, and the statement 2, that is incorrect. Then here endomembrane system. Next question is endomembrane system that include which one of the following? So ER, that is endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi, lysosome and vacuole. So this is the correct answer here. ER, Golgi, lysosome and vacuole, these are the endosystems. In eukaryotic cell, there are numerous membrane bounded organelle with distinct structure. And endomembrane system, it is the coordinate function network of the organelle whose activities they are closely linked. So here what does ER do? It synthesizes the lipid and protein. Golgi, it modifies, sort and package these molecules. And lysosome, it digests and hydrolyzes the waste material using an enzyme. And vacuole, that store the fluid and manage the osmotic balance. Next question is, how many molecules of pyruvic acid are produced at the end of the glycolysis from 206 molecule of glucose? So 1 glucose is 2 pyruvate. So N glucose here 206. So 2 into 206, what will it be? 412. So here option D is correct, 412. Which one of the following plant growth regulator is used as an herbicide? That is 2,4-D. What is 2,4-D? 2,4-dichlorophenoxyacetic acid. Phenoloxyacetic acid, that is synthesized in the auxin. 2,4-D. It target and destroy the broad dicotyledonous weed while leaving the monocotyledonous cereal crops unaffected. It does not affect the crops and it kills the weed. Next is which we have to given below. There are two statements and we have to tell whether both of them are correct or not. So in gymnosperm, the male and female gametophyte remain within the sporangia. This is true. And in gymnosperm, the seed are not covered. This is also true. So both the statements are correct here. So we will go with the option A here. Both the statements are correct. Here various list is given, list 1 and list 2 of the bacteria. So spiral, that is shown by which one of the following in list 2? Vibrio, Cocci, Spiral and Bacillus. These are all the shapes that are given, and we have to tell which type of shape is given for which type of bacteria. Bacteria are prokaryote that are classified on the basis of the shape under microscopic taxonomy. So here we can see the spiral bacteria. They are designed, how they are designed in coccus shape, in the cocci shape. So here the spiral that will be matching with cocci, the rod that is the bacteria that is known as bacillus, and that is matching with the fourth one, that is bacilli. Then comma shape of the bacteria, it is the vibrio, and spirillum, that is spiral shape of bacteria, that is spiralia. So D, it is matching with 3. So here D option is correct. Next question is, which one of the following are characteristic features of Solanaceae family? We have to tell the characters of Solanaceae family. So flower are bisexual and actinomorphic. This is true. The calyx have 5 sepal and they are united. This is also true. And androecium have 5 stamen and are epipetalous. This is also true. But ovary is superior, not inferior. So option D is incorrect. So A, B, C is correct option here. This is Solanaceae family, potato family, that is the largest family of dicotyledonous plants. We have to select the correct sequence of an experiment that lead to the gradual understanding of the photosynthesis in green plants. First, what will happen? We have to tell. First, absorption of spectrum of chlorophyll A and B that will produce a glucose that will release the oxygen, and role of air wrong. First, air will be released. First, the role of air is that it will be releasing the oxygen and it will produce the glucose, and then the spectrum will be absorbed, that is the chlorophyll A and B will be absorbed. So here we can see the B option is correct here. Role of air will be releasing of oxygen, then production of the glucose, and then absorption of the spectrum of chlorophyll A and B. So B is a correct option here. When it was given, role of air, it was given by Presley in 1770, that discovered the essential role of air in the plant growth and discovered the oxygen, whereas release of oxygen was given by Ingelhaus in 1779. He proved that only green part of the plant release oxygen in the presence of the sunlight, whereas the next is we have to tell absorption spectrum, and the production of glucose was given by Sachs in 1854, provide the first evidence that glucose is produced as plant grow and stored as a starch, whereas the last one, that is the absorption spectrum of chloroplast, was given by Engelmann in 1843. From 1909 is splitting the light into the spectrum in the spectral components and describing the action of absorption spectrum of chlorophyll A and chlorophyll B. So we will go with the option B. Next question is, the number of action potential generated in SA node in a healthy human being is 70 to 75 per minute. So SA node is a cluster of specialized pacemaker cell that is located on the upper right atrium of the heart. It possesses an autorhythmically and generating the action potential spontaneously without external nervous system. How many turns of the Kelvin cycle are required for the formation of the 3 molecules of glucose? That are the 18 turns that are required in the Kelvin cycle. So 1 glucose is 6 turns. So N is equal to 3. So 6 into 3, it is 18 turns. Which one of the following statement is incorrect? Here, blood clotting is responsible to an injury. True. Blood clot consists of fibrins. This is also true. Fibrins is produced from the fibrinogen. Here, fibrinogen is produced from the fibrin. This is incorrect. Why this is incorrect here? Option D. Fibrinogen is high molecular weight plasma protein that is synthesized by the liver and not produced by the fibrin. So here D is incorrect. It is produced by the liver. Now we have to match the family, genus, class, phylum, order with the list. So here the Magnifera, we know that it is a genus. So B is 5 here. That is Magnifera is genus. So B is 5. We can see which of the option. Here option A and D are showing B is 5. Now let's eliminate other options. Let's see which one is correct. Family, that is Anacardiaceae, then genus, that is Magnifera indica, and the class, that is the flowering plants with 2 dicotyledon, that is Dicotyledonous, and D phylum, that is it is a flowering plant belonging to the Angiosperm. So here A is matching with 3, B is matching with 5, C is matching with 2, and D is matching with 4, and E is matching with 1. So option D is correct. Then we have to arrange the following taxonomic category in ascending order. So here first is the genus, then species, then family, order, class, phylum, division, and then finally the kingdom. So here A, G, A, E, C, B, D, F. So A option is correct here. Go with the A option. Now here type of placentation are given. Marginal placentation is seen in P. Axial placentation, where it is seen in tomato, and the parietal placentation, that is seen in the Argemone, and free central placentation we can see in the primrose. So here D option is correct. Synopsida class belong to which one of the following? That is the pteridophyte. It belongs to the pteridophyte. They are the vascular cryptogam, non-seed bearing plants that contain the xylem and phloem, and they are classified into 4 distinct classes based on the evolution and structural characteristics. So here the Synopsida, that is Coleoterm, then Lycopsida, that is Selaginella and Lycopodium, and Synopsida, that is Equisedum, and Pteropsida, that is the Pteris and Adiantum. Thanks for watching. Do like, share and subscribe BioMindscape.